it do? It's your boy Nextstop Sirchcity, and welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Food We Watch podcast. We are on episode 66. Let's go. If you are still rocking with us, that means we're doing something right. Before we get started, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube, and follow us on all platforms at Normals Be Chefing. Please subscribe and hit the note so you can be notified whenever we drop episodes or different recipe videos. Also, be sure to follow us on our IG and TikTok for the podcast page, which is at the Food We Watch podcast. As you guys already know, we are reviewing MasterChef Season 13, Generations, Battle of the Ages. This is a season that me and Nita did not know existed. Don't even know how we missed it. But we are rewatching that this summer. Last week we were, I believe it was the baby boomers. This week, I believe we are going with Gen Z. I believe. Let me just double check that. Yes, we are focusing on the auditions for the Gen Zers. But before we get started, we have a segment where we just talk about random things, current events, or what's on our mind. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, this Diddy trial, this Diddy trial is something else. There has been a lot of things that has been put out there. I cannot tell if this is actually a trial, if the prosecution is proven RICO, or if they are trying to just embarrass Diddy. Now, I by no means am on the side of Diddy after I saw that Cassie video. It does seem, the only thing I have been able to understand, or the revelation I've come to, is that Diddy is a freaky ass nigga. Number one. And two, he is an abusive person. But I'm having a hard time understanding if they are proven RICO, because all I'm hearing is about a bunch of sex stuff. I'm not really hearing trafficking. I don't know. I'm not really hearing a lot. But I do want to shout out the people that the person that I've been following to get the information, because the trial, there are no cameras allowed in the courtroom. So I would like at this time to shout out, I am not a lawyer, but so at this time, I would like to shout out, I am not a lawyer, but who is Mel. If you don't know Mel, she is Miss Kevin on Stage's sister. I don't know. Because I watched their other podcasts and they've been getting the feedback to where it's like, oh, I didn't know you guys were related, or you talk just like Mel, or Melissa sounds just like Mel, and things like that. And I'm like, you guys are under a rock. I follow their podcast. I'm a part of the Kevin on Stage universe, so maybe that's why I know. But I just want to shout out, I am not a lawyer, but please follow her at I am not a lawyer, but on her platforms. She does a lot of great work when it comes to the trials and things, and gives breakdowns and make it a lot easier for you to follow, because a lot of this jargon you just don't know. She'll be like, oh, this is what this means. Shout out to her husband Gooseby. They also have a podcast. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out I am not a lawyer, but because I believe she's doing a great job. I know there's other people that's out there, but guess what? She's a Black woman and I want to support her. All right, so let's get into the episode. Again, we are reviewing MasterChef Season 14, Generations. We are on episode 3, and we are working with the Gen Zers today. We have a special guest for this episode. MasterChef Season 10 contestant Nick DiGiovanni joined them as a special guest and a judge. First person up to cook, we have Becca. She's 24 from Provo, Utah. She is a customer experience manager. She looks like a baby. Like, at first glance, I'm like, is she not Gen X? Because she looks like she's 12. Her style is rooted in comfort food. She learned to cook from watching YouTube, which is how a lot of kids nowadays learn how to cook. I learned from my mama, and then I transferred over to YouTube. But a lot of the kids nowadays, they learn straight from YouTube. She's making a dessert. She's doing a molten chocolate lava cake with pecan caramel drizzle, candy pecans, and a vanilla whipped cream. Gordon wants her to cook the lava cake one at a time. He came out and watched her cook because that'll give you the option. If one doesn't come out right, you always have another option to throw another one in the oven. She's like, yeah, I'm Gen Z. We just gonna go for it. I'm not doing all that. She decided to cook all three of her cakes at the same time, which I agree more so with Gordon. Let me know how you feel about that. If you're cooking a molten lava cake and you are in a competition, is it best for you to cook them all at one time, or should you do them one at a time? That way you'll have, if you mess one up, you'll have another one to fall back on. The judges believe she made a risky move, but guess what? That lava ran out. It came right out that cake. Only negative they said about the cake was the nuts could have been smaller, but the lava was perfect. She got 4 yeses, and she is the first contestant on the Gen Z team for this season. Next, we have Violet, 23, San Fran, California. She is a content creator. She is top 5 in her age range, I think, on TikTok. She decided to do a New York strip with chimichurri, goat cheese, mushroom omelet, and a crispy tomato. Now, I will say this, and if you go back and watch our interview with which is episode 63 of the Food We Watch podcast, we had an interview with James Barfield, season 13 MasterChef contestant. Make sure you go watch that. He stated this, and I'm going to say it too. Just because you cook online and you make it look good, that does not mean you cook good. And I think she kind of got called out on that because she has over 1 million followers and things like that. But is her food actually good? She took a risk being on this show because but I don't know if her following actually watches the show, because I'm pretty sure her following is people her age and younger, which probably don't watch a lot of television, so they probably don't watch a lot of MasterChef. But this could hurt her brand. Is your food actually good? Just because it looked good, that doesn't mean it tastes good. So let's see. The judges said the dish looked more like a baby boomer dish. She didn't render the fat on the steak. It isn't uniform. It was like the dish was just all over the place. She lacked that experience in the kitchen. Again, just because you see it online, don't mean it's right. Fortunately, Violet from San Fran, the content creator, did not make this season of MasterChef. Next, we got Fatima, 26, from Queens. She is a doctor. She is originally from Nigeria. She is doing, oh my, see now we about to have some problems. She's doing a tuwo bagiri. That's what we're going to go with. With some mash and some jasmine rice, black eyed pea sauce, and a pan-seared lamb. That's basically it's like a Nigerian Indian fusion. Now, when Joe, and I believe it was Joe and Aran came out to interview her and things like that, she was moving a little bit too fast, and that hot sauce flew out onto Joe and Aran, flew out of the thing. Why can't I think? The blender. They were like, you know what? We just gonna leave you alone. We just gonna go ahead and let you cook. I don't even know why we came over here to bother you. But when she came down to the judges said the judges loves the Gen Z look. The lamb was perfectly a medium rare. The sauce was beautiful. Only downfall is that she needed a little bit more seasoning on her rice. But I think the judges were able to overlook that because she was able to get enough yeses to join this season of MasterChef Generations. Next, we have Maddie, 27, for Tacoma, Washington. He's an Air Force captain in the Space Force program manager. Before we even go any further, I just want to say, Maddie, thank you for your services. He learned how to cook in the Air Force, so that's dope. He did a Parmesan crusted salmon with whipped potatoes and a tomato chutney. Already had salmon in the oven a little too soon and still had things to do, and he was worried that it would be overcooked, and then he realized that. So unfortunately, his worry came to fruition because the judges felt the same way. The salmon was overcooked, um, and he did not make this season of MasterChef. Next up, we have Adam, 23. He's a dude rancher. He did a guitar spiced lamb souvlaki. He made a homemade flatbread, grilled tzatziki. Then he had the pistachio and mint tapenade and a Greek salad. So he did a lot for a dude rancher. He was showing off his technical skills. The judges were telling him that you got to watch out because you can overcook your lamb. He didn't want to take it out of the pan. He's like, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm good. I've done this plenty of times. And we know how it goes when a lot of people say, hey, I've done this plenty of times. But let's see. Let's see what the judges say. They liked the technical ability, but the lamb, as they stated, was dry. Sometimes you just got to listen to the people that has the experience. The plating was ambitious, but the lamb is inconsistent. But I was a little confused because they didn't really like the dish, but they gave him 3 S's. He was able to join this season of MasterChef. So he did this. He did. I guess they like the technical aspect of what he was trying to do. They see the skill. So and he's young, so he has the ability to learn from his mistakes. So they were confident enough to have him on this season of MasterChef. Now, before we continue, as we've been going through, as we've been learning in the last couple of weeks, every day in the United States is a national food holiday. So I personally this week wants to know what today's national food holiday is. All right, today's national food holiday is National Strawberry Parfait Day. Okay. National Strawberry Parfait Day coincides with the peak of strawberry season, which is the summer season, making it an ideal time to enjoy the layered dessert. Traditionally, a parfait consists of ice cream or frozen custard layered with fruit and whipped cream on a tall stem glass. Modern variations often substitute ice cream for yogurt or pudding and includes layers of granola. That's my personal best. Strawberries are not only delicious, but also pack a lot of nutrients like vitamin C, folic acid, potassium, and fiber. So go out before the day ends, go out and have a parfait. I'm probably going to head to Wawa after I record this and go grab me one. Today is National Strawberry Parfait Day. All right, next up is Sophie. She is a 23-year-old software engineer from Virginia. She decided to do a pork and shrimp dumpling, homemade, and do her own homemade wrapping with the spicy chili and spiced cucumber salad on the side. I think she had a good idea, but I don't think she had enough skill to create a good or a elevated dumpling. The judges thought the construction was good, but nothing stood out. The sauce was the best part of the dish, opposed to the pork or the shrimp. So unfortunately, Sophie didn't make it to this season of MasterChef. Next up, we have Haley, 24. She is a professional cornhole player. Now, I do not diminish anyone in life, but I did not even know there was a professional cornhole anything. I thought it was just a game you play with your homies or at a cookout. She is actually ranked 40th in, I believe, the United States, or at least in Alabama. Which, hey, if you're ranked 40th in cornhole or anything, congratulations. But she's from Berry, Alabama. She is making a teriyaki stir fry, a lamb with rice and veggies. The chef was surprised that she played cornhole for a living, and they actually started to play cornhole. I can't remember who won. I think it was between Nick and Gordon, but I think Nick got one in, and then Gordon throws rice everywhere. So Gordon, I like seeing Gordon in this aspect. You can see him having fun, things like that, especially with the younger contestants. Um, Now, again, she is a cornhole player, but this competition is all about the cooking. Did she do enough to make it to the show? The judges said the cook was beautiful. The lamb was the star of the dish. She did have some amateur issues, things that she missed, salting. I think the her pieces of lamb were two different cooks. One was maybe a medium rare, and the other one was medium. But overall, they seen potential in her, and she was able to receive enough yeses to make it to this season of MasterChef. Last but not least, we have Mert. If that ain't a name, I've never heard somebody with the name Mert. But we have Mert from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He is a commercial real estate broker. Highly confident. Thought he was going to come in and do his thing. Off rip, he burnt his butter. As soon as he started cooking, he burnt the butter. Started to worry. He was literally shaking. But he was able to pull it together enough to where he created a Florida lobster tempura roll with a lobster slaw and spicy mayo. The judges thought it looked good. The lobster cooked beautiful. No crunch from the tempura though, so the tempura was a little soggy. They had more crunch from the cucumber. So even though the dish wasn't perfect, they seen enough to where they were like, you know what? We're going to give you another chance. We're going to allow you to come on this show and prove that you can do what you're supposed to do. Dial back on the confidence. Nothing wrong with being confident, but there's something wrong with being overly confident. And we're going to see how long he lasts. But he has made it for Gen Z, rounding out their team for this season of MasterChef. All right, guys, it's been real. Again, these episodes are a little shorter than normal because we are watching just the audition side of the season of MasterChef Generations. Next week, we have MasterChef episode 4, where we're going to see the last group, which is the Gen X cook, to see who's going to make it for their team. Before we get out of here, just want to thank you guys again for watching another episode of the Food We Watch podcast. Be sure to follow us on all platforms at Normals Be Chefing. If you want to get to know me a little more, you can follow me on IG at Sirchcity. And if you want to know what's going on in the world of Nita Tings, I know she hasn't been here in a while, but you can still follow her. You can still follow her at at Nita.foodphoto on IG. Shout out to again Mel, I am not a lawyer, but for her work on criminal trials, and especially the Diddy case, allowing us to understand more and more on what's going on. And since we can't have eyes in the courtroom, she has been our eyes and ears. Before we get out of here, please make sure you follow the podcast page on TikTok and IG at the Food We Watch Pod, and tune in, subscribe. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube page and at Normals Be Chefing, so you could be notified when we go live, when we drop recipes or drop new episodes. Also, be sure to go to episode 63 of the Food We Watch podcast and watch the interview with James Barfield, season 13 of MasterChef. Amazing interview. He's doing big things. That's what she said. And make sure you give him a follow at PTGJ Love on all platforms. But before we go, I gotta let you know that good things come and good things go. Life is like a box of chocolate. Sometimes that should be melting.